Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans for the fans. And with me today, I have Josh Burton, Jordan King, and my man Robert Anderson. And we are going to quickly talk about some all elite wrestling. They just had a rally down in Jacksonville, Florida. These guys wanted to talk about it. I'm here to provide the platform. Gentlemen, first and foremost, what's going on?
Not
That's
much,
good.
man. Not much. I'm excited to see something brand new happening in the world of wrestling.
Absolutely. Josh Burton is actually the host of Everything College Basketball. Josh, what's happening, my friend?
What's good, man? Just got done watching that presser and I hollered at you right away. You're going to be my guest this Sunday and figured, why not now? Why not talk about some all elite wrestling?
That's right. And Robert, what's happening, brother?
Chilling, man. Just got home. Saw that press conference. I'm excited.
All right. Well, let's get into it a little bit here, guys. So, the All Elite Wrestling Rally, it got started off. So, I didn't catch the very beginning of it because the streams were acting up. What is Conrad Thompson's role with all of this?
I think he's just an ambassador.
Same way.
Yeah,
So you guys feel ambassador for him right
yeah.
now?
An
Go ahead.
ambassador says because you have a podcaster now who has a really good following, so it makes sense to tap into that market. So just imagine if, say, all elite taps you would become their, ambassador. So it's a direct way to the fans. So he's ambassador, just bringing people in like, yo, I'm a fan too, but I'm also working with the company now.
I
Well,
like
I think, too, he plays a big role, too, because remember, he was like the head of StarCast. And I think with Double or Nothing coming back, that they're probably going to have another StarCast. So it probably goes hand in hand with that as well.
for sure. And who's the? Does anyone know who the other guy was with him? I think.
Alex Marvarez or
Yeah.
something like that.
Anybody know who he is?
Not really, not from the top of my head.
Just some dude.
Just some dude.
Yeah, he's some dude. He's some dude status now.
Oh man, hold on. You know what? We are going to. I'm going to find out who this guy is real quick.
Ooh.
Robert, take over for me, man. Got this.
All right. So out first we had who was it? Nick and Matt Jackson.
Super kick party.
Actually,
No, Cody was out first, actually. Cody.
actually, it was SCU. But you know what was
Oh
the
yeah,
weird
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
The pyro on the stage. The people pop for the pyro because they haven't gotten it in WWE.
Look, people are deprived of the pyro because pyro costs too much money.
Listen, I can listen.
Yeah,
I completely get it. I have a business
yeah,
degree. I
yeah.
100% understand. And if you guys care to know, I actually hate pyro. It bothers my ears. Robert will laugh every single time. I cover my ears at wrestling because I hate pyro. Don't know anyways. But seriously, if this is the same guy, it says he works for foxsports.com and is a Fox Sports 1 senior
Ooh,
NFL reporter and Sirius XM NFL radio host.
that's some big guns right there, actually. So
He's no Conrad Thompson or Conrad Cushman, though. So we get into this.
hey,
I kid with Conrad Thompson all
yeah,
the time, but I always tell him he's the second best Conrad in podcasting. He just laughs or likes it. So SCU came out. I mean, they just announced that they were in it. I pretty much think that this was a layup announcement, right,
you gotta
guys?
set it up. Yeah, you gotta set it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it seemed like it was a pretty easy W right there for that situation. Are you guys excited to see them there?
I'm excited to see him because it's a new play for me. If Double Nothing goes well, which is gonna go well, it's in Vegas, so it's gonna go well for me. We just hope to get a TV deal out of it because they need that TV programming, a weekly TV programming. That's the main goal with Double or Nothing now.
Josh, you got anything you want to add, Robert?
Um, I mean, SCU, if you follow along with their YouTube show, being the elite, it's kind of a foregone conclusion. Why not? They're a big part of that show, and why not come along?
We got 3 seasoned vets who coming in. They're just gonna make the product better. And Christopher Daniels, as you always say, most underappreciated man in wrestling right now for
Absolutely.
years.
For years, dude, since he was in the light heavyweight division in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Foul Original Wrestling. I know he was just doing a live stream. He's watching. What's going on? If you have anything to chime in with Foul, I'll be reading the comments too that pop up in the section for this. So thank you for tuning in. If you anyone else who tunes in, if you want to watch this, If you put something in the live chat, I'll read whatever. We're just talking about the very beginning of the rally at this point. So if you guys have something to add, please feel free. So we had that happen. SCU came out, and then Cody came out, introduced as the executive vice president. Cody came out to his entrance theme, and a lot of fans chanted Dusty was proud, and Cody said, I hope he's right. And he's starting to use the words change the world a lot, and they really want to be something different when it comes to professional wrestling. And I believe the Young Bucks came out and joined him as well to make a big announcement from this point. And there were a lot of thank you, Young Bucks chants, All Elite. The fans were going crazy for this, and they thanked the Khan family who owned the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's how they were able to produce all this. So it was very cool to see that, and I was very impressed. Here, let me get to the one weird thing. I think the worst part of this announcement was watching Matt Jackson. Matt and Nick Jackson really don't get too much mic time in front of crowds and stuff. And I thought that Matt got a little awkward towards the announcement for, what was it, the wrestling group in China, OWE. Yeah. He was trying to hype it up, and then it was just like, who are you talking about? Because I have no clue. But he said we'll be impressed with them when it's time to see them. So that was very cool. They also,
speaking of which, hey, I don't mean to butt in real quick, but if any of you follow Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter from Fightful, he actually somehow found it and retweeted a thing from like last year, 2017, of a clip from that Chinese group, the OWE or whatever it is. And basically it's a clip of a dude running off. Remember the old Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy spot, like the whisper in the wind thing? Well, like a dude was posted like that. One dude ran on, jumped off his back, and hit a dude that was laying on the ground for a 450. It looked impressive as hell. So I'd imagine it's going to be like a. They said it was like a lucha libre meets kung fu meets whatever it was, and I think that's pretty much what it's going to be. Like high pace. Their version of like a cruiserweight or a juniors division probably.
So basically, ninja stuff. So ninjas are and now All Elite. Okay.
Yeah. Go to Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful.com. He had retweeted it. It's a pretty cool little like GIF clip thing.
I'll have to go back and see if I can pull that up for everyone to see here in 1 second. Actually, I was going on to send out the link for this. What did you guys think of the Young Bucks talking about the whole I don't care about your what sex you are, orientation, color of your skin? I thought that was very telling that they were saying all that stuff. And I think
it was kind of a shot at that Crown Jewel situation or the whole Saudi Arabia deal.
I took everything as a shot today. Is that weird?
Yeah. Maybe well, I could talk from personal experience. When I met the Bucks last year at Nickel City Con, they're the most genuine guys you ever meet, and they will thank every fan. Like when I met them last year, they were so down to earth with me because like I took a picture with them. I told them because of them I got back to watching wrestling because their show being the Elite because I've watched it for Omega. But like the Bucks are funny, but they appreciate every single fan pick they take. Every single autograph they take. They're really down to earth guys, and I'm so happy to see them doing this next level thing. They're taking that same mentality of being part of the indie scene, being part of ROH, now New Japan, now their own company. They bring that humbleness to it. So that's the genuine thing about them. They're very genuine about it. There's nothing fake or directed by the board or anything because there was many shots fired by the board director type of thing. But they're very genuine. I'm happy to see them. They're working with Cody as all three of them are executive vice presidents of All Elite Wrestling.
We got 2 people asking if they can join. I'm going to try to allow them to, guys. I know that there's people watching, but if you guys wanted to join in, feel free. And actually, I'm sorry. And then you said Sean
Ross Sapp from Fightful.com.
Yeah, I'm pulling this up right now. Do you remember how long ago it was when he tweeted this?
I don't know, probably 30, 40 minutes ago, whatever.
Oh, holy smokes. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you probably just watched it, didn't
you? Yeah. So it's ninjas, basically.
I'm pulling it up right now for you guys.
Ninjas.
2 seconds here. I got to screen share this. This is pretty...
it's like that whisper in the wind spot, right? Like just right in the middle of the ring.
All right, I think it's taken over.
Yeah, okay.
No,
there we go. Now, all right.
It's going to do that. All right, check this out right here. This is the first one I just saw.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the one right there.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, when you
I
see
seen
stuff
it.
like that, really good. Just so the people at home could check that out. Let's see. Well, let me get to the next point here, and I'll let actually I'm gonna let Josh take over this next part here with Brandy Rhodes.
Oh, yeah. Basically, Conrad introduces her and tells the world her title. She's chief brand officer. Brandy comes out. You know, she's got a cool little theme song, too, to be honest with you. She comes out, and you can tell, and even, again, back to Sean Ross Sapp, and he brought up a point, which is true. You can tell Brandy, you know, is used to being on camera back her WWE days, doing the whole, like, interview segments, because I thought she killed it here. I thought her, you know, her talking about her role and then asking about the women's division and talking about they're going to scout the world and bring in the best of the best, Britt Baker. And, you know, Britt's another one. I don't really hear her talk too much. She don't really do a whole lot of promos as far as what I've heard. But she killed it in this interview. I thought her interview basically described who she was, her goals, not only as a wrestler, but, you know, her whole doctorate thing, and basically told everybody continue to follow their dreams and their goals and kind of set up some stuff down the road. I thought the whole little, I guess if you'd call it a segment, was good. I thought Brandy was good, and I thought Britt was good. I thought both of them really shined in this.
You guys over here.
Basically described who she was, her goals, not only as a wrestler.
Put my headphones on.
Uh-oh.
A little bit delayed, but it's all good.
This is Foul. What's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for joining my streams all these times. I figured I'd join yours, man. I'm not as sorted out as you guys. I haven't set up a lot of these. It's all tech. Can I hear you?
Okay. Yeah. You're good to go, man. You're good to go.
Yeah, I got one more who's gonna send me. Well, McCabe wants to join as well. But real quick thing before I invite anybody else into this, I just want to give my thoughts. Brandy Rhodes, I can tell that she has a business acumen to her, as odd as that may seem. Brandy is someone who I think is very, very interested in getting in on the business side of things. I could see it. Like her presentation, she was the best one on that stage who got up there and spoke at any time. That was professional. And I don't know if that comes from her doing the ring announcing that made her comfortable doing it, but she reminded me of someone who I wanted to do like I have a master's degree, and someone who I would want next to me to do my project presentation with, because I'm not the greatest presenter at all times. I'm talking to you guys in front of a Google Hangout. But when I was up there doing the presentation, she is someone who was elegant. She spoke very well and always looked at the camera and was always ready. That was just one thing I noticed myself. But let's go to Jordan next, and then we'll go to Foul, then Robert for their thoughts on the Brandy Rhodes.
All right, for what I see for Brandy Rhodes, like you said, really well spoken. Again, her background comes very well with it. I also really like the fact that she's quick on her thinking. It's like, the pro wrestling T-shirt. Like, okay, I'll buy that shirt. The Brandy shirt, I'll buy that. I actually will rock that shirt because you know what, that's a great idea. But on top of it, the fact that the women are now getting equal pay in All Elite. Now, unlike, you know, the main one, WWE, they have their pays on a scale. So like they're not same as the men. Like if you really watch how the family everything's broken down, you hear former superstars talking about their pays aren't equal because they're not selling much merch, but they're gonna be getting equal pay now, which is a very, really great step forward. Because you gotta think about now, this is happening, I think was like 15 minutes away from SmackDown Live tonight. So you know WWE's listening, okay, we gotta somehow now one up this whole entire live stream thing that just happened in the same time we're in. So you know that Stephanie McMahon's like, okay, I have this stuff going on too. But again, Brandy as in this role is perfect for her. And like I watched her stuff on I follow her stuff outside of wrestling too. Her business background's pretty well great. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to market herself. And now she's gonna help market AEW in a really good way. I see them but going up for AEW.
We good? We in?
You're in, yeah.
All right.
Connor, give us 1 second. We're on the part about Brandy Rhodes right now, talking about it. Good to have you on here. Let's see here. Where are we? Foul. What did you think of the women's announcement?
So, like for me, that was probably the biggest announcement of the evening. I totally agree with you guys. The Brandy Rhodes assessment, like I feel like she could she could sell me the event just on her own, because she kind of, I don't know what it was about her. Oh,
She has a presence about her. You get that professional feel from her.
yeah, and I feel like she really, really knew what she was selling. She knew the audience. They were a little bit like quiet and they were a little bit cold almost. And she got up there, she started to get them into it. And I was saying this on my show. If she's the one that got on the Cracker Barrel deal, she's the most important player on that whole team, because she can go out there, she can get those brand deals. She said something on her Twitter and her Instagram that she did a business degree, and they said it on Being the Elite. They were like, "Oh, well, your degree means something now." Feels like she couldn't be there like ace in the hole. She truly will be. And yeah, she came out, a bit loose, but she was professional as hell. She went out there and she sold that show. She went out there and showed them that any companies that come to them, professional ones, will have a great smiling face who cares about her product and wants to do something with it.
Yeah, I don't want to have to cut a promo on how many times I've been told that stuff too about the business degrees. Knock it off, people.
Dude, don't worry about it, man. I ain't got no degrees over here.
No, you're good. Robert, what did you think of Britt Baker? Let's get into that a little bit.
She did a great job selling the women's division. This is going to be a game changer, you know. I can see her.
Let me ask this weird question then. Does this hurt Adam Cole?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Triple H loves him.
Connor, what do you think? Does this hurt Adam Cole? Britt Baker announcing that she is going to be All Elite.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think it does anything with them, even though they're going to be like rival companies, so to speak. I don't think it's going to be anything within their personal lives. Now, could I possibly see saying business wise? Excuse me, yes, but personal wise, no. Not
I like that. I agree with that. Let's see. What was the next part here? I think this is when Conrad Thompson came back out and MJF came out and interrupted him.
Well, Jacob Friedman.
Oh, that's a great heel intro right there.
Dude, he called the man tons of fun. I get he's the second best Conrad in podcasting. We all know who number one is.
Oh, he called him turkey tits.
I lost it.
Yeah, I see that in the notes. Big people have feelings too, MJF. Don't be like that. And then he stuck his gum on his forehead. And just terrible. Terrible. But good heel work by him.
Great heel work. Great heel work.
Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, how great heel with you too. Like all that stuff too is you see people who we think are great heels now. A lot of their stuff, talking WWE is like, written down for him for the most part. But he just came out there and was just going on, didn't miss a beat, didn't stutter a word, didn't any of that. And just boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm a big MJF fan. So for him to apparently is a good deal.
I like it. Jordan, what did you think of MJF's segment here with Conrad Thompson?
I wasn't expecting it, but I was like, again, I was watching when I got caught off guard. So when they could surprise me like that, like that's really great. Like, so this is a heel I'm watching. I'm like, I like his heel work already. I'm like, I'm digging it. That's my first time I've ever seen him. So I'm like, now I'm gonna go back and watch some of his earlier stuff. Now I'm interested.
And Foul, let's go to you. What were your thoughts on that segment?
See, that was probably the most. It was at that point that I knew that this wasn't a rally anymore, and that this was just All Elite Wrestling's first TV show. This is their first TV show, and that was an amazing segment. Like from that point on, I remember thinking, "Oh, you know what? They're doing something totally different here." He was like super heel. Like he just went out there and went, "You know what? You're not making any noise. I'm going to get as much heel heat as I can in the next 10 seconds. I'm going to show that your investment in me was correct."
I like that. Very wise for him to do that. Let's go to who do I have next on here? I'm sorry. Connor, what did you think of Joey Janela and Penelope Ford?
I don't know how well you guys can hear me. So anyway, I thought, excuse me, let me rephrase that. I've known since All In, like Joey Janela, they weren't done with the Elite and their side. You know what I mean? And I think them coming to AEW really adds more star power than what it already has. But I think it's a good move for them.
Okay. Robert, are you still here?
I think he's muted, right? Oh, wait. Oh,
I'm here.
There you go.
I'm here.
There you go.
Janelle P. I don't know if they're back together for real, but I like seeing them back on TV.
They had a nice little run there, and I like what that's probably feuds. I feel like they set up a lot of feuds with this, so we'll probably see MJF and Joey Janela in the feud against each other. That's my thoughts on it, at least my opinion. Mm-hmm. Then we got into Adam Page coming out and talking, and I thought he did a great job. Adam Page is someone who, Adam Hangman Page, I should say now, is someone who has really grown since the first time I saw him. I remember he was just some other guy that was named Adam Page when Adam Cole was getting popular in Ring of Honor. And I'm very impressed with everything he's done. And that match at All In really impressed me with all of his skills and everything else. But the real big announcement here that I'm going to go to Johnny first with is Pac.
Yes, he's back.
And I just heard before this that they offered him a spot to come into All In, and he just was like, no.
Because he wanted to come back to his original promotion that he started with. That's why. But let me tell you, Pac skill set alone, oh my God. His mic skills, his ability to break gravity. This is going to be amazing for All Elite right here. You have someone who's underutilized by WWE, but like all of the real fans of Pac know, like, yo, he do so much more what he did in WWE. So now I'm looking forward to what he's gonna cut loose. He's gonna cut loose.
Josh, what do you got for that?
Oh, well, it was a nice surprise because, again, kind of like the whole MJF, and as we've seen later, you know, it was another nice surprise. And that's a big get. Like Jordan just said, you know, Pac's an amazing performer. The one thing he did do well in WWE that he's carried over is his heel mic work is fantastic. His facials, like when he was nose to nose pretty much, or nose to chest in this case with Hangman, and then when Hangman challenged him, he backed away, cowered out. It was brilliant too because it's already set up a title feud. It's a ready-made, built-in title feud that's ready to go from from the time that they turn the lights on and fill the building. So I thought it was brilliant all around.
Connor, what did you think for Pac? I want to get everybody's thoughts on him on this.
I honestly was surprised, but I forget who said this. He's a great mic work. He's great on the mic, and he's a great performer overall. This is a feud that I'm very interested in seeing in the coming months as this whole thing gets together.
Wow.
Yeah. I was so happy. As a Brit, as a classic Brit, I was so happy that Pac is there. It gives that international flavor. And I missed out on getting to see him up in Scotland for Defiant Wrestling. I really wanted to go see Matthew was there and stuff, and I was like, damn it, I could have gone. But just seeing him out there, he commanded that. He turned up, people knew who he was. He has become so much better. The whole I don't know, the whole B-starred Pac at the moment. He's amazing, and he's such a heel, and he's the best thing is his accent. He's putting on a bit more of his Geordie accent, so that's even more. I don't know how much you guys can understand him, but he's kind of putting it on a little bit more, and he's putting it on a little bit more than he probably should do. And I love it because it's the most annoying accent over here as well. So he's a super heel over here, and his mic work has got so much better. And he just look at him, He's insane.
Rob, what do you got?
Just good to see him doing what he loves again,
Yeah. I like that he brought the Dragon Gate title out with him too. Very cool for him to do that. Let's get into the next part of this here, which is that when Cody and them came out and they made the announcement?
Yeah, that's when they came back out for the third show. I believe the third show announcement they did.
Yeah, they're gonna do a show in Jacksonville. We found out later on. The show in Jacksonville will be their second show after becoming AEW, and they announced that a large portion of the gate will go to benefits of victims of gun violence. And I thought that's very cool for them to do that. That's something you wouldn't hear like WWE say or do, and they're really separating themselves from this. I thought that was very cool of them to do that. Do you guys have any quick thoughts on that? Anybody want to say something?
I just want to say real quick that, like you said, they're doing something different, and the show in Jacksonville, I personally think that they're doing that for a good cause. That's all I got to say on that matter.
I feel like that show in Jacksonville might be the launching point because after Double or Nothing, I think that's when probably that third show they might announce we have a TV deal ready to go. So you guys can be first to know. Here's what channel we're gonna be on, what's coming next down the line. I feel like that third show, and what's after we got All In, Double Nothing. What you go to Ante Up or Let It Ride is the third show maybe called because they're doing this whole entire casino thing. I'm gonna call it Let It Ride. I don't care. But at this point, they might. That's when I think we're gonna announce the TV deal. I think they're gonna get the TV deal with the money they're backing with the Khan family. They're gonna get the deal. I think. But who though?
You heard the rumors too, though. What was it last week? The rumors coming out that the Khan family are talking to TBS and TNT about a TV deal.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, and that's the time to me like the Time Warner does need something to back those channels up because their program is not doing too good. So if they have that going on, the return of the Monday Night Wars or something like that, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good TV going on.
I think
I don't know if it'd be Monday night.
Monday Night Wars talk, man.
Hey, look, man.
Let the company build first.
I don't know if it'd be Monday night. I don't even know if it'd be Monday night because I think they trademarked Tuesday Night Dynamite.
Yeah, anyways. I saw that copyright. Yeah.
Because if you remember,
see them move to Chipotle.
Go ahead.
Because if you remember, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Connor.
All right. Because if you remember, SmackDown moves to Fox in September, right? So that leaves Tuesday. And Impact moves to Fridays starting this week. So that leaves Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's 3 days out of the week that they could possibly choose to run their TV shows on.
I totally agree with you on that, Connor. I was going to say Tuesday is the night that I think that they could quite easily take that SmackDown audience. Not take them, but there's a hungry wrestling crowd there on a Tuesday that want to see good wrestling. SmackDown has proved that. They want to see a good, tight 2-hour show and All Elite Wrestling. They could fill that slot straight away. The audience is there. They just need a good product.
They just need a right channel that everyone can have access to. That's the main thing. With
nice pun. Access.
Yeah, I know, right? So, with Impact, I know I'm going off a little bit off topic. Impact is using Twitch now. Everyone in the world has a Twitch account basically because everyone streams. So Impact's doing something unique now, which I'm going to see how that plays out because they're using a streaming service that's really knowing the channel they're going to be on is not that popular. No one gets it. But everyone has a phone. Everyone has Twitch based on their phone. So let's see how that one plays out because if they're using Twitch right, they can make a giant. They could do some damage. So
I agree.
I think they said they want. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Did you have a point to make off of that?
Yeah, I was going to say they said on the last their Twitch show just at the end of Homecoming they want to get to I think they said 15,000 subscribers a month. Yeah. So if they get there, that's doable. Yeah, that's really doable for them, and that's a decent chunk of change every month.
Hey man, if you have the Amazon Prime membership, you just use that, and there you go. Just subscribe. Just saying.
Yeah, that's some interesting stuff, guys. Besides that, I do want to backtrack a little bit because I forgot to mention two other things. If you're wondering when the main Double or Nothing show is going to be, it's going to be May 25th, 2019 at the MGM Grand Center in Las Vegas. So that's pretty cool. That's also my wedding anniversary. So I'm going to have to tell my wife that I can't make it for our anniversary because I got to try to get to this.
Or go to Vegas.
Good luck with that.
Or go to Vegas.
Get remarried at Vegas. Get remarried at Vegas.
Go Double or Nothing. There you go. Double or Nothing. Go Double or Nothing in Vegas. Puns galore. Go Double or Nothing.
Yeah, puns galore. I'll be stuck in some drive-through wedding place with Triple H and Stephanie. We can't have it. But also, another key person was signed to All Elite that a lot of people weren't talking about. Billy Gunn is their very first producer. I think that makes things interesting, in my opinion.
What a
also,
shot!
I think we get his son in the deal as well.
Yeah.
His son, Kip, what's his son go by?
Austin.
Austin. Yeah.
Austin. Yeah.
Austin Sock.
Yeah, that's he's pretty good too. He's been working out with Dave Hero's son, if you don't know, and I think they've been getting trained by Al Snow. So they're going to be really good wrestlers. So it'll be good to see him on the shows and stuff. And I think Billy Gunn has a real mind for pro wrestling. It was sad when he got released by WWE due to his violation, being in a weightlifting contest and stuff like that. And they found out he was on, I don't know, something that he wasn't supposed to be, and everything else. But Robert, what did you think of Billy Gunn? Is he a good signing, or you against him, or what?
Oh, hopefully he's the opposite of what Road Dogg's doing. So
I was exactly about to
you knew that was coming.
You all waiting for that one. We all knew it was coming.
Yeah,
no, I think it's a good gift for him.
Yeah, and then we'll get to the last thing real quick. Let's talk about Chris Jericho before we get into like these overall last minute thoughts, because I do want to talk about the comparison stuff too. So Chris Jericho is All Elite Wrestling. I don't know if this is probably the one that got Vince's panties all in a bunch. And you know, he's like, I did everything for him. I've given him the contract. I've done it all. Why would he do this to me? Why? And what do you guys think is Jericho's real reasoning behind this? I know what he said out there, but what do you think is the real reason?
I think he genuinely wants to just help out his friends, you know?
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I think from what I get of it, like Jericho always reinvents himself. Think about it. When he came back to WWE past 4 years with Kevin Owens, he had the list of Jericho. He always reinvents himself to something different. When he went to New Japan, new thing. When he went after Omega, he was the Alpha Jericho. Now he's All Elite. So we were seeing him just he's so well reinventing himself every couple of years, every couple of months. So this might be a different Jericho we see from New Japan to All Elite. But Vince though, he had to take it. He has to deal with it.
Yeah.
And you also have to think about New Japan too. Jericho's still in the contract with New Japan, so this might be the beginning of a working relationship with New Japan and All Elite. It could start something like that slowly with using Jericho that way.
Saying like an all-in. You're saying like an all-in type thing with Ring of Honor, All Elite, and New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Now we did get the report that came out later last week that New Japan wanted to work exclusively with ROH.
Yes, I did hear that. So
yeah, I did saw that. Yeah,
that might cause some problems.
Well, here's the thing with that too. So if these guys, I can see it. New Japan and all these guys are going to be tired of lending out their talent because it's going to come down to who goes out of business first. It's a game that people don't want to get into, and it's a game that people aren't talking about as well. But let's be smart about this from a business aspect. Let's just say there's 100 wrestlers to keep percentages easy. Eventually, and there's 5 companies, and now there's going to be 6 or 7. There's only 100 wrestlers. They're going to eventually go places, and WWE is going to lock you down. You're going to do what WWE says and what they want to have you do.
Mm-hmm.
I see that All Elite's trying to change it, but you may have to play WWE's game to go against them. And if you want to be the top dog in pro wrestling, in my opinion.
They're going to have to build some kind of NWA system. And I mean, I think that's what Cody's trying to push for. He's trying to turn all these independents into one big territory. And that's the only way that they can maybe go against Vince. But as you said, there's greed within all of those companies, just business greed. So each company are going to say, no, well, we want that person. We don't want to work with you. I mean, I've seen some reports about the reason why New Japan want to work again with everybody else, because they're about to lose Omega. And they're like, well, oh, damn, we didn't realize that it meant that. So maybe we should all work together. Oh, yeah, we'll share our toys. It's fine. It's really interesting to see a company just come out of nothing as well and have like the ear and the backs of every single major player in the business. I mean, Cody's known everyone since he was a kid.
That's one of the benefits to having Cody. His wrestling knowledge is probably top notch. His father's probably told him stories. Man, I made a big mistake when I did this. I don't think he's going to repeat the mistakes of his father. And that's a good thing to have behind you. But we've talked about everything that's happened, gentlemen. Now let's do some speculating a little bit. We've got Kenny Omega situation. Is there anybody here who thinks Kenny Omega is going to the WWE, or it's still possible?
Anything's possible.
It's a possibility because we're in Rumble season mode now. So that contract with New Japan is up by the end of the month, right? I'm guessing
the 29th.
Or
that's
29th. And when's Royal Rumble?
27th, isn't it?
Just throwing that out there.
That's the thing. I don't even think that lines up. That's the one thing I think he wanted to Rumble, but I don't know. I think it is more now not about money anymore with him. It's about control, isn't it? Could he get the same control in WWE than AEW?
I think he won't get control. Like if he's in AEW, like what I see is because Kenny Omega, his background, he's a video gamer, he's an otaku, and like his very last entrance was if you ever play Undertale, his thing was all about Undertale. The one-winged angel, that's from Final Fantasy. If he steps into the WWE ring, we'll have that cool remix of the Undertale Final Boss music, or wear the type of gear, because then, licensing issues come up with WWE. He can't be called one-winged angel. He's been watered down. That's what I see. But AEW might have the same creativity like he had in New Japan.
Let me play devil's advocate real quick. If you heard within the past couple of weeks about the Daniel Bryan contract, part of the reason he re-ups not only was the money, but because they've actually given him control over his character to a degree. That's the reason why Mustafa Ali got called up and has been pushed like he's been pushed. That was a Daniel Bryan call apparently, and it's gained Vince's trust in him because he's pushing other people. And we've all heard that Omega got big money offer and pretty much an offer that you can't turn down. Who's to say that he didn't get maybe something similar, like some kind of creative control over his character to a degree?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I like that devil's advocate.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Fuzzing in my brain over here.
I'm sorry?
I'm going to add on to what I'm going to add on to what Josh said a little bit. I like what he said, but then again, all the things that he had in New Japan, does he really have the
You cut out there.
Creative freedom, so a month or two of speak, and then say, nope, you're going to be like everybody else. This is what you're going to do, and we're going to have this. He's everybody else, basically, like everybody else does.
So
that's the one worry I have.
All right, I'm going to start off with Foul on this next one. What happens? Is All Elite ready to compete at any level with anyone or anything at this point? I know that the Khan family's backing them, but are they ready to actually go against any of these companies?
Financially, yes. I don't know.
We're kicking.
I still
go ahead,
yeah. I still think, and I truly believe this, that they can go up against NXT, not tomorrow, but after Double or Nothing. They could put up a show across the street from an NXT takeover, and they could probably sell it out before the takeover show. Ooh. I think they could do that after May. After May, once they get to a point where they're kind of, where people know, and that point right now, not right now, but once they get to that point, because they'll have momentum, and people will be like, that's the alternative that we used to go to NXT for. Why don't we go to this actual real alternative?
I don't think people are ready to sell NXT out that quick, man.
No.
NXT always delivers, man. That is my favorite brand. That is my brand. That is where
that's the real A brand show.
Yeah. And I totally agree. And I think in May they'll be ready to do it. Not yet, but I can see them building that up because they've got the talent. They haven't got the handcuffs. Maybe that might be a bad thing, but they're not having to stop for what they're allowed to do. They can just do what we wouldn't have seen Joey Ryan stuff at All In on NXT, but we might have seen a version of it. And I think, and that's what I look at. I see them competing against NXT, WWE a few years from now, maybe Impact, maybe, but definitely NXT.
Can I piggyback off your point? And you actually took the words out of my mouth about the Joey Ryan thing. There's no speculation that he's joined, but my only fear for AEW with the no handcuff thing. Please do not go over the deep end. Because, like, you can push it to a limit, but if you start doing stupid stuff like the penis druids all the time or dumb stuff like that just because, like, oh, let's be revolutionary, let's do this, that, and the other, then I think you're going to lose a portion of your fan base because they're going to get tired of it.
Can I piggyback off of that?
Stick to what you know.
Can I piggyback off of you, Josh? I'm going to tell a
Yeah,
story.
go ahead.
I was watching All In with a friend. We ordered on the Fight TV app. We actually paid for it. And we're sitting there and we're watching it, and it's a good time. Everything's happening. Our casual buddy joins us. Now, he doesn't really watch wrestling, but we have a mutual friend who's an indie wrestler and everything else. Make sure you guys go support the Buffalo Brothers, too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I've tweeted them guys out. Damn, man.
Yeah. But when I was sitting there and I'm watching it, when that part happened with the Druids, do you know how flippin' embarrassed I was to explain that to people? That's the part of being a wrestling fan that sucks, when you're like, no, dude, I know what you're seeing right now and it looks wrong, but there's this show on YouTube and this guy does the penis plex or whatever his finisher's called, and it's so weird to explain that. Something like, so people grab this dude's junk and they're okay with it. I don't know, dude. I think
he was on BuzzFeed, all right. He's good to go. He was on BuzzFeed. Everyone in there knows about him now. So,
well, here's the thing about that too. And I know a lot of people say, well, like guys like Cornette and Jim Ross are past their prime, but they are correct. You can do that stuff at what you consider an indie show, but if these guys are looking to make a national splash, say they get on like TBS or TNT, they absolutely have to tell their buddy Joey Ryan or whoever, if they want to go that far, you can't do this. Like, because advertisers on a big network are not going to put up with it.
Mm-hmm. I was told today at work by someone who literally never speaks to me about wrestling. All he knows is soccer, football, and I have no idea about that. Now, he knows I do a wrestling stream, and he said, I need to tell you something today, Fal. I heard about this wrestler, Priscilla Kelly, and she did, and he started telling me he knows nothing about wrestling at all yet, ever. He tells me about old British wrestlers. He knew that. He walked into work today and told me that. And that, to me, then said, yeah, I had a bit of a worry the same. Like, if All Elite Wrestling do something that would break the internet, it also breaks their mainstream appeal quite easily. And I do worry about that. But, it's early days. Let's give him a goddamn chance.
Go ahead. Yeah. Now, I wonder, it's going back to the whole Druid thing, that makes me think, back in September, did they get away with that because they were on pay-per-view? Yes, Mother.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they did get away with it because they were on pay-per-view, with the entire conversation going towards that. They got away with it because they were on pay-per-view, yes. But at the same token, that part was the worst part of the show to me. When I did my live afterwards on it, I said that.
It took too long.
It's not cool.
My main thing is that with speculation wise, now they're leading into this to All Elite Wrestling now, but my thing is I'm worried about, because I got back to wrestling because of the YouTube show Being the Elite. The Young Bucks, they got to keep going with Being the Elite, because that's how they got a better audience now, because of YouTube, because of everything else. Because like, if you guys know me by now, I'm a big video game fan. I love Up, Up, Down, Down, because that's why I believe like most of the superstars of WWE are really themselves, and that's the best version of themselves. They were able to think about this thing. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega ended up on WWE.com. Mentioned that they were New Japan wrestlers because they played Street Fighter V against the New Day. Now, that's how they build up. If you think that's kind of like a pseudo way of building. Oh, wait a minute. These guys are wrestlers too, and they're playing against the New Day. I bet you had people watch that stream who are casual wrestling fans who just watch WWE strictly. Probably went back, found some old stuff of Omega and the Young Bucks, and probably got into being part of the Elite and saw what the Bullet Club is all about all the stuff about it.
You're gonna have to figure out ways to draw audience.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Paul Heyman's theory, guys, on how wrestling is a big pie? I'm going back to the same thing I said with the wrestlers. Wrestling is one big pie. I wish I had a thing that I could draw with. And there's only so many segments of the pie. And WWE, let's just say, has 70% of that pie. They're hogging the whole thing right now. You have to figure out how to keep taking pieces from them. Slowly but surely, people will come over. WCW made so many mistakes, and we've seen all the WWE DVDs, and we know what they were. Yeah, that'll put butts in seats. Yeah, that was a piece of the pie. Yeah, you did this, and that was a piece of the pie. You did the finger poke of doom. That was the piece of the pie. And WWE outsmarted them, and they finished them out of their audience.
I think now it is that that look for attention, within like your eyes have only got enough time to watch 24 hours if you want to stay up all night, 24 hours worth of TV a day or YouTube a day. They want you to be watching their wrestling show, which I totally get. And that pie, I think that's a perfect analogy. Like, it's just taking bits, chunks, and they've already taken quite a decent chunk away from the WWE, I feel.
Yeah, and it helps too that the Young Bucks, more specifically, but the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega, should he sign, and then you have a Chris Jericho. But I'll stay on the Young Bucks real quick. They've transcended pop culture more than people think, because if you watch over here ESPN Sports Center or the MLB Network, Robert Flores, he's actually done. I think he was on the Ric Flair 30 for 30.
He's a huge.
He's been streaming playing MLB The Show, and I've been talking to him on there. And all he wants to talk about, he's a big wrestling fan, but he loves the Young Bucks. He talks about the Young Bucks all the time. We talk all the time. And if you watch on Twitter, the people out that does like the NFL highlights for the 49ers and the Chargers out there in LA and San Francisco, they're constantly dropping like Young Bucks and Cody and the Elite references into their highlights. Like, the one thing they have going for them is they've transcended, or starting to transcend pop culture, and with the whole Hot Topic deal, they have going for them more than maybe just another startup company, even more so than like a Ring of Honor or somebody like that has.
That was exactly what I was going to add. And I think with Ring of Honor, the main thing that held them back is they've been like, I don't want to say scared, but they haven't went to that next level to get a big stadium full of people. They haven't tried that. And that goes to my next question, which I want to kick it to Robert for first, because he's been real quiet, which is odd. This is the MGM Grand seat capacity. You guys can see that. 16,800. Do they fill it up?
Yeah. I'm sorry,
Robert, go.
I think they can. It'll probably be a little bit more comp than they will want to give out, but I think they'll sell that building out.
Do they give away any tickets? I mean, this is everybody's paid. That's what I mean by sellout. None of that old school WCW stuff from the early 90s.
Like a legit sellout? Well, nobody legit sells out anymore.
They might though, man. You got
legit sell out.
Floor seats too.
I don't know. I think we'll have to wait and see.
All right, I'm gonna piggyback off Robert. So I went to Vegas like 2 years ago. I went to the MGM Grand because I was on the Strip, but they could sell that sucker out. Like the first round couple seats would go to your high rollers, in the casino. High rollers have a lot of money. That's new sponsorship for AEW. Maybe they have some, people who want to invest in the company. So if they sell in Vegas, and that's a lot of comps money. That's money guaranteed already to go already. If you think about that, I'm thinking at least looking at 30 grand. I'm just lowballing right now. At least 30 grand guaranteed for that type of stuff. Comps by the hotels. These are one bring the high rollers in. Oh, you're a wrestling fan? High roller, MGM, stay at MGM. We'll comp you for the double or nothing. Acting like that way. On top of that, the West Coast scene in wrestling is so big, and plus you have the New Japan influence because you're so close to Japan over there. People who just go there and see them.
Just like Josh just said, yes, that goes right off of his point too. That's a good point. And New Japan's been traveling over that way, more so west than east,
because with the whole entire West Coast demographic, you have a lot of people who migrated from Japan to the West Coast, settled in California, Seattle, Las Vegas area. So where they go where their people, they know where people move to. So that's why they had that show in San Diego, because there's a large people who move from Japan to California. So you got to think about that with the demographics. So I can see them selling out the MGM Grand.
Gents, before we wrap this up, I'm going to go around one time here, and I'm going to ask this question, and then I'll let you guys do your shout-outs, and then we'll go, because I actually have to do a SmackDown Live review after this.
Yeah, and Kentucky's playing right now. I'm missing the Cats playing for this, so.
Oh, check out everything college basketball with Josh Burton. But I'm going to ask if he shows up at All Elite. This will be something fun to look back on later. I need definitive answers. Does CM Punk show up
Hell no.
No.
Yo.
No.
Robert's answer. Foul. What do you got?
All right. I want to say no.
One second.
Sorry, Robert.
One second. Show up as just like a cameo appearance, or actually has a role?
Let's just say he shows up for right now, and he'll have a role afterwards.
Hell no.
Okay. I'm saying we see him in the crowd NXT style, and then he doesn't turn up on the next week's programming. Like you just have him turn up in the crowd, not as CM Punk, but as Phil Brooks. just collapsing AJ next to him.
So what do you think, Foul? Does he show up, or you're a no?
No, I'm a no.
Connor.
I think
unless they give them the right deal, unless they like offer them the right amount of money, which I think is going to be way more.
Okay, Jordan.
If he's gonna show up, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay.
So
yeah, one pig spot basically.
Josh.
Oh yeah, I'll believe when I see it.
Y'all too negative. So I'm gonna say yes, just for the hell of it. Along with, and I keep this as a caveat: Punk's gonna be there, Goldberg is gonna be there, and Jim Ross will be there.
Yeah. Ooh, you got about Jim Ross.
Nice.
Wait, Jim Ross with his barbecue sauce. All right, I'm saying right now.
Oh, wait, I've just realised, doesn't JR's contract end at around the end of April, May-ish time? So would he be ready for Double or Nothing?
You know he'll be ready for anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be ready and out of contract, wouldn't he? Oh, spicy.
See, there's something to think about.
That's sauce.
This is when things will get interesting. Gentlemen, I appreciate each and every one of you coming onto this show. I missed dinner because of this, but all good. I'm missing too many meals anyway. So let's go through, though. Everybody, you can plug your stuff, say what you got to say, and then we're out of here. Let's start with Robert, and then we'll work our way down.
I don't know my Twitter handle, but you'll find it in the description box. Shout out to EPW.
Thank you, good sir. I appreciate that. Foul.
Thank you very much, EPW, for joining most of my streams. Thanks. I want to plug Foul Originals Wrestling channel, which is youtube.com/Foul Original Wrestling. Do live streams and stuff like that.
Give them a subscribe, folks. Always.
Thank you. We're on the road to 1,000. Road to 1,000.
Let's get it so we can get paid. Connor.
Having me on, and I would like to plug in my Twitter @
Connor, you're cutting out, buddy.
Follow me on Twitter. Is it working? Because it's like
now it is. Now it is. Go ahead. Say it quick.
All right.
Yeah, it's not working. We're going to Jordan.
All right. Thank you guys for my very first podcast. Oh, there you go. Wait. Follow Twitter @
We'll get it in the description box.
I'll plug it in for him. Go ahead.
All right. So thank you guys. It's my very first podcast, Everything Pro Wrestling. Shout out to my boy CJ, because it was a very long time for me, because, big wrestling fan here. My social media is everything. I'm B-Boy Skyline. I'm a cosplayer. And very soon I'll be at Dragon Con coming this year, because I got beef with Austin Creed to settle in Double Dash. That'll be documented. I'm telling you that right now.
And if you don't know, Jordan is actually one hell of a dancer.
Dancer and cosplayer now. So yeah.
Yeah. Connor, you could give him a follow at JayhawksFan_12. He is a huge Jayhawks fan. And last but not least, Josh Burton.
What is up? Well, I appreciate you having me on. Like I said, you'll be our guest this upcoming week on Everything College Basketball. That's my baby. Everything College Basketball for all your college hoops needs. Go on Facebook. Just go to the group. Search Everything College Basketball. Conrad and Robert will tell you. There's activity all day and all night, especially right now with hoop season heating up. Follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at ECB Podcast 10 on Twitter. The nation's leading scorer. Shout out Chris Clemens from Campbell. He follows us, so you should too. And then my personal Twitter is at HeelJB, if you just want to follow my random shit I put on there. Yeah, and then we've got the podcast. We're on Anchor. We're on Spotify. Anywhere you can get podcasts. Again, it's Everything College Basketball. Come join us. Like I said, I'm about to get off here and watch my cats play, and we'll have a game thread on there. So everything college basketball at Conrad.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I am 2 subscribers away from being at 250. I'm trying to get to that road to 1,000. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, do me a favor. Give me a follow on Twitter at EPW Show. We're talking pro wrestling all the time, whether it's WWE, AEW, New Japan, whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm there. I even did a review on Impact Wrestling recently, and I will have a live SmackDown review in a couple hours from now, right after the show ends. I don't know if Robert will be on there or not, but I tagged everybody in this video. So if you ever want to go back and look at it, gentlemen, I appreciate it. And I hope to have you guys on either the podcast or on another YouTube video real soon. But
I'd love to. Yeah. Pleasure.
Definitely.
Out, everybody. Thank you. Peace.
Word.
Thanks for the show, guys.
Thank you.
Boom. Thanks, guys.
Like